People around the country are going to be watching St. Paul to see what happens today as 3 former Minneapolis police officers head to federal court. Their trial begins as Tou Thao, Thomas Lane, and J. Alexander King have all pled not guilty to the federal charges of violating George Floyd's civil rights. Derek Chauvin, on the other hand, did plead guilty last month. Mariel Moe is live in the WCCO newsroom this morning to explain what we should expect as jury selection gets underway. Al?
Well, Jason, today begins that jury selection process in this federal civil rights trial, and the city of St. Paul is prepared for anything that may unfold outside the courthouse because of this trial. This is what the courthouse looks like right now. Tall security fencing surrounds the entire perimeter of the building. We saw something similar during the state trial for Derek Chauvin last spring as protesters gathered daily outside the Hennepin County Courthouse. The purpose of this federal trial is to determine whether or not those 3 other officers willfully deprived Floyd of his civil rights. The defense will argue that Chauvin acted on his own, and all 3 former officers will be presenting different reasons for that. Tou Thao, who kept distraught bystanders from intervening at the scene, will likely argue he never touched George Floyd. Defense attorneys for J. Alexander King and Thomas Lane are expected to stress that they were rookies, just following orders.
But they were really only patrol officers for less than a week, and therefore they can surely testify that they don't have the complete experience that, say, any other officer would have who's been on the force 5, 10, or 20 years.
And unlike the Chauvin trial last spring, cameras are never allowed in federal courtrooms, so this trial will not be live streamed. But we will have a reporter there following along as the trial unfolds and bringing the updates as we learn them. Coming up in the next half hour, we'll share more details on what the expected jury could look like, which will be a lot different from the diverse jury that we saw during Chauvin's state trial.
Yeah, pretty interesting how they select a jury for a federal trial, too, Al.
Yeah, exactly. It's a much larger pool of people they can pick from since it's statewide.
Indeed. Mariel Moe is live. Thank you. We'll bring you trial updates both on TV and streaming online.